Hi. Well, it's a beautiful day again, as always. And today I want to talk about the world. Not the world out here, but the world inside your mind. Now, we create our own realities, as you probably know. And those realities are so tightly woven together that they can't be jostled apart. Okay? And it's like a web, you know? And the web is full of these strategies to keep things together. Okay? Otherwise, you'll go insane. Okay? And it's my firm belief that insane people are simply people who've had spiritual experiences that other people thought were insanity. Maybe I'm wrong about some of that, but some of the people, definitely. Anyway. So, this web, okay, is so deeply entrenched in you that you don't understand or even appreciate what you're seeing or hearing or doing. Now, to give you an example of this, let's say that you believe that it's right to make guns. Okay? Now, that is a deeply entrenched belief. Okay? That Americans have the right to make guns. Blah, blah, blah. Right? And that, you know, you're going to hold on to that belief until you die. Okay? Because of the way you were brought up, the people you met when you were young, your parents, your friends. Okay? And this belief is so deeply inside of you that it can never come out unless you wake up. Now, let's say you're a psychologist, okay? And you're treating somebody. And as far as you're concerned, whoever you're treating is a patient. Okay? They're not a human being, they're a patient, okay? Who pays you $185 an hour. Okay? And no matter what you do, you can't get that idea out of your mind that these people are patients. You label them and put them in a box, okay, and dehumanize them so that you can go through their underwear drawer, that's mentally speaking, and figure out what's wrong with them. Okay? And no matter how long you've been doing that or how much you've been doing that, you're still going to think that the people you see are patients. And in fact, you're going to think everyone is a potential patient. Because everyone's a little messed up, you know? Same thing if you're a doctor, a lawyer, okay? And these things are deeply held in your web of what you think the world is, okay? And I know that it's difficult to try and understand what I'm saying because these things are something you've probably never heard before. Why would you? Okay? You think that your version of reality is the correct version of reality. Okay? And you agree with everyone else who thinks that's the correct version as well. Okay? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But if you can understand that these beliefs, okay, that you're holding on to, okay, can make it very hard for you to get out of that, okay? Believe me, you don't want to be in that because that only leads to what? Suffering. That's right. Okay? So you're stuck in being whatever, okay, that you are, and you're stuck in believing these things. Now, one way of accepting what is to accept that you are wrong. I know that's hard. Okay, believe me, I always thought I was right about a lot of things. Okay? But you know what? I wasn't. And because of that, I spent 64 years trying to, I don't know what. I don't even know what it was anymore. Make money, I guess. Okay? So, in order to see past all these deeply enthralled pieces of the web that are deep in your mind, okay? You have to stop the thinking, because the thinking is the machine. It's the machine that keeps making these ideas, okay? And as long as more ideas are pouring in to your head, okay, reinforcing all the ideas you already have, you see the news, all right, and you find out that 40,000 babies are dying every day, okay? Which is a fucking horror, right? And you say, oh, that's got nothing to do with me. Right? Or you hear about, the tragedies in Gaza, and you think, oh, that's terrible, but still, I'm fine. Because you think you're just you. And that you're not connected to those people in Gaza, okay? But that sorrow that they're experiencing is coming for you. Because sorrow or suffering spreads, okay? And it's going to spread out from Gaza like a river of time, okay? And eventually it will affect you. Now, I'm not saying that you deserve to be affected by the sorrow in Gaza. I'm just saying that it's gonna affect you. It's gonna have some effect on you. Okay, it's already had an effect on me, and it's gonna have some effect on you. Okay. So, how do we get outside of ourselves long enough to say this stuff is incorrect? By stopping the thinking. That's how. And I know I've said this to you before, my dear viewers, but it's super important. And the only way to stop thinking is by doing something else besides thinking. Okay? Like jumping off a mountain, or jumping out of an airplane, or skiing down a slope, or riding down a mountain on a bike, or some kind of activity that stops the thinking. And when you do those things, you feel great, don't you? Right? And so that's a good thing, isn't it? To feel great? Yeah. Okay. Or being in nature, or looking into the eyes of a loved pet. Okay, or whatever it is that it takes to give you that moment of clarity. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you need to look into your eyes to your puppy all the time. What I'm saying is that there's a way to open that door that you're opening with the eyes of your puppy. Okay? When you look into the eyes of your puppy, it is looking into yours. Okay? And there's a connection between your puppy, who does not have thinking, and therefore is already in the now. And that connection brings you into the now. Okay? And you stop thinking. Now, there's ways to make sure you don't think, and that's in meditation and going into the energy field of your body, which is really fascinating and very cool. Okay? And you can do that for hours. Okay? But that's not necessarily going to get you where you have to go. What you have to do in order to get there is let go. All these ideas are still in your head and they're still having their say. Don't think they're not having their say, because they are. Because they're in your ego. And your ego is trying to say something to you right now, even if, you're not listening. My ego is saying something to me too, okay? But it's like a whisper. And eventually it'll fade completely. And so this is how we do it. We just stop the thinking, okay? And you can do that by going into the forest and just sitting in the forest and looking at the majesty of the trees, or looking at the sky and the clouds, or the sun. Not looking at the sun very long. Or looking at a mountain, okay? And that will bring you into the now. And once you're there, that stops the thinking, and some of these old ideas can run away. You don't have to go with them anymore, okay? They run out of steam. Look, I know I've said all this probably before, but I have to keep saying it because people aren't waking up. Unless, you guys are, and you're not telling me in the comments for some reason, I don't know. Okay? But you know what? I haven't gotten any real comments with questions from anybody, which makes me think that I'm really, really good at teaching spiritual stuff. But what it makes me think is that I'm not getting through to anyone also. Anyway, the point is that I have let that go. Just like I let the YouTube videos go, just like I let everything go. Because holding on to the YouTube videos, okay, and looking at them and preening over, okay, doesn't get me anywhere. Letting them go, however, not caring what happens to them, okay? YouTube could have a reset and my videos would be gone, and that would be it, okay? Yes, they'd be in my phone and I could re-upload them, but the point is that I'm not concerned about that. What I'm concerned with is that the message is getting out there and people are beginning to wake up. That's all. Okay? So, try to remember who you really, really, really are. And who you really, really are is consciousness, awareness. When something happens in your life and you feel an emotion, try to put some awareness in it. Okay? Try to step away from the emotion for a minute and just hold the awareness where the emotion was. And not push necessarily, but hold it there. And look at it. Look at the emotion. Okay? Feel what's going on with the emotion, but not so much that it's affecting you. Hold it at bay with the awareness, because that is what you are. You are the awareness. Okay? And if you can hold that emotion at bay with the awareness, okay, then you can see what is really going on and why you feel this emotion, okay? And then you can let it go, just like you can let the thoughts go. Have you ever had the same thought over and over in your mind, day in, day out, always there? Maybe it was about sex, or maybe it was about something else. Okay? And it had an accompanying emotional impact. The old brain's going. Anyway, that emotional impact, okay, can be looked at, okay, and dissected just like we dissect a frog, okay? What is this emotion really about? Is it fear? Is it anger? And where is this fear stemming from? Is it from my feeling of separateness, which is an illusion? Or is it from something else? And when you find out what that fear is from, or that anger, or the sadness, or whatever it is you're feeling, okay, you can transmute it into love, joy, peace. And I want that for everyone. I want everyone to have that love, joy, and peace that I have. And that's why I'm making these videos. So, remember who you are. Accept that you are not a person. Just accept it. As long as you hold on to your personhood and say, I'm smart enough, I'm talented enough, I'm whatever enough to make it. Okay? And all that stuff is part of your personhood. Okay? Your soul takes part in the intelligence of God. Okay? That's who you really are. And believe me, the intelligence of God is way more, intense than the intelligence of man. Okay? I mean, I salute the intelligence of man. Look at all we have from the intelligence of man. It's great. But you know what? A lot of that came through man from God. You think Albert Einstein didn't have a little bit of God in his corner? Or Newton? They wouldn't even have known it. Okay? But it was there. Just like creativity. Whenever you sit down and draw a picture or paint a painting or whatever it is you do that's creative or sing a song, that creativity is coming from God. And if you don't have access to that creativity, okay, generally speaking, most people don't, that's because you're too fraught up with thinking. Alright, well, I guess that's about enough from me at this point in time. I love you all because you're me. We're all one thing, including God. And we always will be. And that's why I love you, because it's like loving myself. It's like this hand and this hand. Okay? Yeah, they are. I can't do without either one. Right? Well, I can't do without my feet or my legs or any other part of my body, just like I can't do without you. And you need to accept. Or maybe you don't. It's up to you. In order to remove yourself from the suffering, you need to accept that you have no part in suffering because you are not a person. A soul doesn't suffer. Only a person does. All right. Well, I guess I gotta stop. I love you all, and take care, and have a great life.